star this season. Tonight, he showed the world what he could do.
My God, a freshman.
An extra gear for the freshman. Touchdown. And the freshman is off. Foot race. They're looking at shoe bottoms and nothing else. Into the end zone. Touchdown. The freshman just ran it back to Philadelphia.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Future Freshman Podcast. Welcome to episode 15. And today we have a very special appearance. Of course, this is the Future Freshman Spotlight. And today we bring on Mr. CJ Tiller. He is a committed quarterback heading to Boise State University, the big blue turf that we like to call it. CJ, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you guys for having me. You know, I can't wait to be on the blue too, but I'm also excited to be able to talk to you guys today. So this is awesome.
Yep, and of course we have Mr. Luke Probasco here, the unofficial interview master of Campus Canton. Luke, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thanks. Hey, how's it going today?
It's going good, man. We're definitely glad to have CJ on. And CJ, we're going to get the questions started, man. We want to start out with your time there at the Elite 11. You made an original visit there to LA and Ohio. We had a correspondent out there that said he really noticed you had some really tight throws, plus your leadership with the wide receiver room, which he thought was really impressive. He said you're one of those guys that really stood out to him. Tell us about your experience at the Elite 11. What did you like? Was it just way different from what you're used to? What are your thoughts there about the Elite 11 and the process there?
Yeah, the foundation that the Elite 11 started, going back all the way has been great. So just be able for them to keep that tradition going and doing it now. But I loved it. It was a great experience. You got to see all the top quarterbacks around the country and really compete against them. And that's the biggest thing for me. I want to see how I measure against all those guys and what their weakness is, because a lot of them have the common same weakness, and that's something that I like to grind my butt off when I'm training. And so me going to those type of quarterback retreats and doing that type of stuff just shows me where I'm at on the leaderboard and what I need to get better on. And then obviously competing out there to get a spot at Elite 11, but really just comparing myself to a lot others and seeing what they do and what I do different that are ranked higher than me. So that's really it. But I loved it there. It was great.
Yeah, man. I think, that process is outstanding for anybody in the country. And the fact to just get an invite, I'm sure that's fantastic, man. So, man, you're learning some essential stuff for sure. Tell us about the wide receivers there. Did you make any great connections out there while you're out in the Elite 11?
Yeah. So I think that my biggest thing is I like to see everybody win and do good. And, I like to spread my knowledge as much as I can. Even though I don't play receiver, I know a decent enough to just help out a little bit. So if I see some guy doing something that really you're going to get coached on in college, and if they end up in the NFL, I like to help them and just tell them, like, hey, look out for this. So really, I talked to Mikey Matthews a lot. I had some of my guys up there, like Jaden Price and Jason Harris. So I had those guys up there. So those are my guys. So I wasn't really explaining to them some things, but every guy that I could see that needs some work or some things that need to be touched up on, I would holler at them and just and tell them what my opinions and thoughts. And I went up there and gave them my input and just said congrats or whatever, just on the nice catch, whatever, anything like that. Just bringing their spirits up a little bit, 'cause you never know what's going on in anybody's life. So absolutely. I love that positive energy that they have.
Love to hear that.
Yes.
I've got a quick question. So I don't know how many quarterbacks went to multiple regionals. Was there much of a difference between Ohio and LA for the regionals?
And yeah, I think Ohio had a lot of great quarterbacks. I think Dante Moore was the only one that got picked out of that group of guys. But there was I think everybody in my class was committed that was there. Great group of guys that can all spin it. But again, there's that deciding factor of how you guys are different than one another. I mean, sadly, I didn't get picked, but I know that within me, I'm a player and I can do things that I can do better than a lot of other guys. But honestly, LA was there wasn't that many dudes, so there wasn't anything. Nobody got picked in that LA one. So Ohio and LA was a big difference. But again, you had guys coming all over from Chicago, Dante's from Detroit, me from LA. So there's a lot of guys coming from all over. It wasn't really just Ohio. So there's a lot of guys all over.
So you had to transfer. You went to Rancho Cucamonga here this year. What's it been the hardest thing about transferring schools into your senior year? I know that's got to be a bit different, depending on normal transfers as far as high school, but football and stuff like that. That has to be a different perspective. Tell us about the transfer process there.
Yeah, it was actually it was a big difference. Out here you have a different culture. There's a different culture in LA, with every type of guy that plays football here that really wants to play at a next level, or any level really. So I think just adapting to that. I'm around guys that have a lot of speed, well known in the game, guys that really want it and that are trying for everything. So I think that's the biggest thing out here. Obviously the weather was a lot better out here. But really, that was it. Obviously the playbook too. I mean, Coach Hildebrand runs a beautiful playbook. That's my head coach right now. He also played quarterback too at Oregon State and Nebraska, so that's also a big bump. So running his type of playbook, which is really like a college playbook, true progression reads and all that stuff. So it was different. I had to adapt. I was lost. A little bit, first 2 weeks of practice, like what are we doing? Like, this is weird. And also playing a high level defense. All my guys they're going to be top level guys. You're going to be hearing them on Saturdays for sure. And then just to see what defenses they run is crazy right now at a high school level. So adapting to that, and then just living out here, traffic too. That's another big thing, man. Jeez. But yeah, that's really it. Just adapting. There's a big adaptation from Cali to from Arizona to California.
All right, CJ, you've got an amazing story, and I want you to share it. But kind of people who don't know you, you had some medical issues that didn't allow you to play football from, correct me if I'm wrong, roughly like 5th grade to 8th grade, so somewhere like that.
Yeah.
But then 2018, something happens. Now you're committed to play D1 football. Tell us about your story. We want to hear it. This is just, amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I could tell this story for days, hours, I can go into specific details about everything, but, I always like to keep it as sweet as I can. But, so yeah, it was in 6th grade. 6th grade, I was diagnosed with a disease called Crohn's. There's so many words you can describe it as, but I just describe it as a stomach pain, but more than a stomach pain you would usually get. It hurt really bad. But yeah, I was diagnosed with that disease in 6th grade. I had to get a surgery later in my 6th grade year. My first surgery, I thought it would be my last. I had a lot of inflamed parts of my stomach that was eating me up, and it was getting bad. So as time went on, going to 7th, 8th grade, we kind of looked at the option, is football really going to be the thing anymore? Because it wasn't getting better. I was on 14 different medications, 5, 6, whatever it was. I was on a lot of different medications, and there wasn't the one that was able to put me in remission or remission. Sorry, remission at all. So they were trying. The doctors had headaches. I know this was one of their hardest cases they had to deal with. But it was a task I think God put on me and much others too. So I've had 14 surgeries. I've had tons of abscesses. So abscesses are basically like a ball of weird stuff. I don't even know how to say it, but I had 2 of them in my leg, and I actually couldn't walk for a while. My parents had bought me a dog, and he was really like my helper to walk me downstairs and make sure I was okay enough, because I would just lean on him, and he would take care of me. So we had bought me a dog. It was crazy. And then we found the right medication for me, Humira. So I've been taking those every week, actually. And it really held me back. Like, that disease held me back from a lot of stuff. I got held back actually in the 6th grade to see what my options would be if that was enough time to give me enough to be able to play high school football as a freshman. So they held me back, and it kind of was the best idea we could have done. Everybody looks at it like, oh, you did it for football, but they don't really know like what the real reason was for. So that disease really took a toll on me mentally and physically. And there was times I was really at my lowest. I couldn't train. I was stuck everybody wants to be at home all the time, but when you're really at home 24/7, you can't even go outside. It sucks. And I spent 3 of my birthdays in the hospital. which sucked. I didn't get to have a birthday party. I don't remember my last birthday party. Well, since I'm older, I don't really want a birthday party. But yeah, it sucked. And, October 15th, 2018 was the big surgery I had. It was supposed to be a 3.5-hour surgery and ended up being 10 hours. It's really 9.5 hours. And I have a tattoo around my arm for thorns. You can't really see it right now, but there's 9.5 thorns around my arm. Because, thorns are painful. And everything that I went through was painful. So I think that was a great representation of what I really went through. And then this key I have right here on me is the foundation that I started for kids that have immunity, stomach problems. So I don't know the words. My parents know better than me, but just stomach problems. And I wanted to be able to help kids that went through what I went through, and just be able to help them and talk to them, because it sucks. You're alone at times. Your parents obviously still have to work. You work, so you're really just figuring it out on your own. You call them, but they can't really come to you because they're working. So it sucked, and I just want to be that person that can make a difference in someone's life, because you never know what can really happen to someone. You never know. So it took a toll on me. Freshman year, I was 115 pounds, a little short guy. And now I'm 190 pounds, and it just came from grind and work and God. I praise God all the time. I tell everybody that. He helped me get to where I was, because I was on that hospital bed crying to him and asking him what I can do. And he got me out of it. And I'm still working. I'm in remission, but it can come back anytime. But, the doctors say I'm on a beautiful track, and they've done an amazing job at Phoenix Children's Hospital to make sure I've been okay with everything. So I'm much appreciative for that. But, that's a little summed up story of what I really went through.
And that's a great story. Like, we kind of talked off air of, like, you just don't. You kind of mentioned it before. You don't know what somebody's going through each day. They might look great on the outside, but inside they're torn up. And I think you got a really good perspective. It's unfortunate that you had to go through that stuff, but you've learned a lot, and you've grown up maturity wise a lot from that, and understanding what more there is to than just football, and big parts in life, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
so.
No, it's beautiful. When you get to talk to those little kids that are really going through the things that I went through, it brings joy to my heart. And I don't know about other people, but it brings joy to my heart. I think that's what I've been put on this earth to do, is to help others. And I'll obviously play football, but football is a short period of time. So just be able to take that time and help others to be in the position to win again, and feel on top, and not so low anymore is the best thing for me. So I loved it, man. It was a great lesson for me. And, I can't wait to tell my story for the whole world too. So it's awesome.
I just think it's remarkable, man. I barely know you, but I'm super proud of you, man. You turned everything negative to positive. That's amazing. I love the motivation behind it. A man of faith as well. So I do understand the drive behind that too. So definitely appreciate you, man, for sure. That was an incredible story, man. So let's lighten the mood a little bit more. Let's get back into the track. So what about Big Blue and Boise State that stood out for you between these other people that offered to you? You're a talented guy, man. Like, what was it about Boise State?
So the biggest thing, actually, to go back to my disease is when I was sick, I always felt alone. And I always had those couple of people that were there for me, or that saw my potential, even when I was still hurting. Maybe they didn't see my potential, but they knew I had that drive. And I had 3. I think Boise was my 4th offer. And all my other offers didn't really give me that attention. And they were always there for me each step of the way. They wanted to see me progress. They wanted to see me win after they offered me. And I love that. And everything I do is loyalty. And they've been loyal to me. They said, if we offer you, we're not going to offer another quarterback. When you commit, we're not offering another quarterback. It's just you, and I love that. Everything that they did was loyalty, and I'm so big on loyalty. And on top of that, Coach Plow and Coach Avalos are great guys. I love Coach Plow's offense. It's not a college or high school offense. It's an NFL based offense. Quarterback takes control of everything. From the line checks, to route adjustments, to everything. So you got to really be dialed in with that playbook, or you're going to you're going to be 4 years on the bench, and that's not something you want to do. And I love that. You know, I love challenges. I'm big on challenges, and I think that's the biggest thing that I liked about Boise. And on top of that, you know, Boise isn't in LA. It's not busy, you know, so I can really focus in on what I really want to achieve in life and what I want to be for a little bit for football. And I love that. You know, I love to grind. I love to work. So I think that's in Boise, that's what I'm gonna get. And on top of that, I'm not a guy that's gonna want 45, 50 offers, 30 offers. You know, if I find the school I like, I'm gonna go there. You know, I don't need a, hey, I just got my next offer, you know, it's not me, you know, it's not me. I like to be under the shadows and move in the dark like how I used to do, and then everything will come to light eventually. So, and I love that. So I committed. I want to say 2 weeks after I got the offer. I actually committed driving back from. I was driving from Arizona to California. I called Coach Plow and I was like, Coach, I'm committing. Like, you know, I had all the thought process in the world about it. You know, I love the school. It was beautiful. But Boise is just a great school. The fan base is crazy. They're awesome. Man, they bring so much joy to my Twitter. They're crazy. You know, and I've actually talked to some of the fans on the DMs and stuff. So that's been so awesome. You know, just for them to be able to talk to a kid that's still in high school, you know, it's a dream come true. You know, a lot of kids dream of this. So it's awesome. I love Boise. I love the blue. The blue field really tripped me out when I got on there at first. It was like eye-boggling for a second, but I was like, I could get used to this. It's pretty easy. But Boise's awesome, man. I love it.
Do you is it something you're gonna have to get used to with the blue field? Do they have blue practice field so then you can get used to it or something like that, or change it to orange?
So they actually have an indoor field. It's green. It's just regular green turf. They said they do practice on the blue a lot because a lot of kids like have that problem, like seeing it, especially with the blue. Yeah, especially with the blue jerseys they might wear in game day. That's going to be a different story too. So I'll get used to it. I get used to things pretty quick. So
I hope they bring back the alternative oranges. So that way you can just see it like it's night and day, man. I can see you and Ashton just blazing a trail with orange. That'd be amazing. Go ahead, Luke.
So are you planning on enrolling early?
Yeah. So actually my signing day is December 15th. So December 15th, I'm going to go back home. I still have family out there. You know, I think everybody in my family will be back in Arizona from everybody, you know, all over the states, wherever my family lives, and just spend those last couple of days they have with me back in Arizona. But yeah, I'll be up in Boise January 1st. It will be my move-in day. So
like starting early, I know it's big for quarterbacks, but like it just can't be a decision that you just like willy-nilly make. Like, when did you start making those types of plans to be ready, and who gave you that advice?
Yeah. I think my dad, you know, I'm his first kid that's ever really has played Division I ball with anything. So everything was new to us, but we always knew enrolling early, there's no downside to it, you know. You know, maybe you lose prom at high school or anything, but Boise obviously gives you the option to go back and go to that. But you know, it was my dad. He always set me up in a great way, and always had me winning and everything. So he said, "Let's graduate early." So I made sure I had my credits lined up. I took summer school. I took them 3 years to just be ahead of in all my classes. So all my core classes I'm already done with. So really, I'm just taking dummy classes this year, because I have to go to school. So, but yeah, you know, my dad always helped me out with all that stuff. So he made sure I was on top of it, and I'm good.
Man, my favorite was doing like classes like drama or chorus, where it's just like easy breezy the last year of senior year. Take art 2 or something like that. That's what's up, man. Take weight training and PE so you can get both at the same time. That's awesome. All right, so you're in your senior year, right? You're at a brand new school. You got a head coach that knows the way around the quarterback position. What's something that you feel is your main strength already, and what's something that you want to improve on, you know, headed into Boise State here coming up in the springtime?
Yeah, I think you guys touched on it a little bit without saying the word. I think I'm a leader, and that's what separates me from all the quarterbacks. Is I'm a leader. I lead different. You know, I don't just lead by my mouth. I lead by example. You know, I pick my guys up. They all follow me. You know, the first day I started at Rancho, they all gravitated towards me, and it wasn't something I expected to do in one day, but it was something I expected to do. And that's this quarterback position. That's what you expect to do. And I think that's really why my strong suit in this is my leadership. And then on top of that, it's my game style. You know, I play. I don't know if you guys seen the guy that that did a little clip of me or whatever. You know, said I played like Tony Romo, and he said I'm a great improviser, and I think that's what I am. I think when a play breaks down, I'm able to put us in a great position to win or get that yardage that we need. And I think the biggest thing this year was working on my footwork. You know, Ryan Porter, one of my quarterback coaches, helps me out a lot with that. And it's really just nailing the footwork. You know, that's why I said a lot of quarterbacks, their weakness is their footwork, and they don't pay attention to it. You know, and I think that's my biggest thing that my upside this year. That I've worked on a lot is my footwork, and I think that's going to put me in a great position with timing and all that, and really just beating those DBs and breaking them down to their core. And that's the funnest part about football, is seeing the other opponents really get mad and frustrated, because that's when you know you got in their head. And that's the thing I love about football, is it's so easy to get in those guys' head. You just gotta work on yourself to be able to do that, and that's the biggest thing. So yeah, just improvising and my footwork is something I'm good at, and something I'm getting better at too. And obviously the knowledge of the game, you can never stop learning about football, you know. And I think I learned a lot more football than I ever had when I moved to California, especially with defenses, you know, especially running that college level defense that we run right now with those college level guys that we have, really. So it's awesome. You know, I'm ready to roll.
So you mentioned the likes of Tony Romo. We've talked to some of the running backs, and you know they give us Alvin Kamara and a couple others. Who are some guys that you tailor after? I know like some people don't want to be their own guy, and that's perfectly fine. But do you have someone that you looked up to when you were younger, or someone that you modeled your style of play of quarterback after?
Yeah, I wouldn't say. Yeah, I would probably follow the same boat as those other guys. I wouldn't say I looked up to other people or wanted to be like someone, but I would say I have a similar play type as some others. And I love that comparison that guy did of Tony Romo, because a lot of kids in our generation, they look at Tony Romo and they're like, oh, dude, he was poop. Like because when we saw him, he wasn't good. You know, in my generation, when we saw him, he looked like he was getting washed up a little bit. But if you really go back and look at his film, and the way he played, it was just great. Like, he played good football, great football. You know, he made plays on his feet, extending plays, everything he did, even being in the pocket, zipping the ball, putting touch on it, you know, great ball placement, all that stuff. I think that's how I play like. And obviously I get this a lot is Patrick Mahomes. You know, I get that whippy release. You know, I've done the same throw. Every throw that he's really have made, I've made too, in practice or games. You know, and I didn't want to put it on my highlight tape because I didn't want college coaches to think that's what I do. But you know that I do all those type of throws, and I wouldn't say I play like Aaron Rodgers, but I just love the poise he has. And I think that's what I have. You know, mentally, if you ask any of my teammates, they could tell you that if we're in the championship game, you know, just on 7-on-7, we're in the championship game. You know, we need this drive to score. You know, I don't get excited after the game. You know, I don't think we've done anything. You know, once I get the ring on my finger, I'll be like, okay, we accomplished it, but I'm not done. You know, I'll get excited, but I'm never too high. You know, I'll always keep my emotions in check, and I'm always level-headed with everything. You know, when the time is right, I'll get excited, but you know, it's just there's stepping stones to it. So
yeah, there's nothing better than a cerebral quarterback that can do a sidearm like Patrick Mahomes. So if that's what you're telling me, then I'm on board. And to be fair, Tony Romo is a great broadcaster. I think he can call a play. That's what makes the beauty of the NFL. But he did become broken glass near the end of it. I'm not a Cowboys fan, so I could say it out loud. Luke might not, but I don't know. Go ahead, Luke.
I'm a 49ers fan, so I'm not a big Cowboys guy.
It's all good. So before the games and stuff like that, is there a certain song or artist that you like to listen to? Is there something that pumps you up or anything like that in particular?
Yeah. Someone asked me this the other day, you know, and it's not like the hype music, you know. I listen to country. I'm a big country man. Even though I'm a city boy right now. You know, once I'm able to buy a house, I'm buying it on some land and away from everybody, where I can just have my horses and, you know, four-wheelers and all that stuff. So, I mean, I listen to my country, and then on top of that, I think I listen to a little bit of like just, you know, slow stuff, you know, still rap, but it's kind of like slow, you know, nothing crazy. I just like to be chill. You know, if I feel loose, that's dangerous for the other team. So once I get in that mood of my music, it puts me in that mood, and once I start warming up, it's kind of game over from there. You know, I feel comfortable, and that's what.
Boise State's going to be perfect. Like, just that atmosphere, just kind of out in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Like that'll be great.
Yeah. 100%, man.
So going back to kind of the school aspect of it, do you have an idea of what you want to major in?
Yeah. I think when I get there, they told me something about shadowing someone, see if you like the class or whatever. I don't know that you guys been to college, I think. So I don't know like the logistics of it, but you like shadow someone. So I want to be a GI doctor, so gastrointestines, obviously, just because of my situation. I really wanted to tack being a surgeon. But with how life goes, I would have to see how that goes, but being somewhere in that medical field, even if I don't be a GI doctor, I want to be somewhere where I'm just in the sports world working on someone or getting someone better. And that's my biggest thing, is just getting people better, back to normal, and just being able to, for them to function in their body, even if that's a personal trainer or anything in that. But I would really like to be a GI doctor and learn more about what I had, and expand my knowledge on it for sure.
I forget who it was. It was on the Pat McAfee show, but he was an NFL player, but he became a brain doctor. So he has a book out. So I don't know. You'll have to go back like a couple weeks to the McAfee show to check him out. But I would recommend that book, man. I think you're the guy to do it. You have the brains, you have the brawn, man. Like if you can go at a high level at the NFL for multiple years and then learn how to become a brain surgeon and go back for your degree, I think that's something in the cards, man.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's unheard of. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's rare for sure, man. So other than football, what other hobbies do you like? Do you play other sports? Do you like to do cool, things that you're into? Do you like a show that you like to watch? What's some stuff that you're into?
Yeah, I'm not big on TV. I don't know why. I kind of grew out of it, in my younger stage. But if I'm only watching TV, I'll probably watch YouTube, and I'm watching The Pivot or something. But I like The Pivot. But really, I like to just be outside. Like I just love being outside, doing stuff. Back then when before football really got serious, I used to ride 4-wheelers and have dirt bikes and all that stuff. So I love riding. When I lived in Arizona for a little bit, well, not for a little bit, for a while, I used to go ride horses a lot with my friends. So I like riding horses. But I didn't really get to do that much because my dad wouldn't let me because of football. So, but even with the 4-wheelers too. But yeah, just really going outside, just enjoying nature. I like being one with nature, I guess you could say. And it's just beautiful outside. You really get to just be outside and be yourself and just have fun, hang out with friends, go bowling. I think I'm a really good bowler, so I can't wait to get to Boise and test all those kids because I don't think they got me. I'm a good.
I will tell you, Steph Cobbs says he is a great bowler, so you will have to take him.
We're gonna have to see. Everybody says they're good at everything. You get that?
He says he went a 230, so I don't know. The dude's pretty legit. I think he was in the league. So
30. That's a little legit. That's a little too legit.
So next time you talk to him, you'll have to talk some bowling, or next time you go up there, do some bowling. I was going to ask you if you have any special talents or anything that you wanted the world to know, but it might be bowling. Bowling, you are the Chris Paul of high school bowlers. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm working on my curveball. I'm working on my curve. I have a couple other techniques I like, but I'm getting there. It's more consistency right now with the ball. I flick it off wrong, and it doesn't come the way I want it. So I'm working on it. But bowling gets really expensive, so I might have to buy the ones from Walmart and set them up in the front yard and just start bowling. I might have to get used to it and
become a lawn bowling specialist.
Yeah, but I don't really have any hidden talents. I'm just a normal kid, really. Just like having fun.
When I did bowling, I would just do it where you line up your thumb with the arrow and just boom, right up the middle. There's no curve for me, man. Just straight up the middle. Try to pick up the spare. That's it, right?
I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4", like 270. I just try force. Just throw it down there and try to have it all hit. So
it was 26 miles an hour. I let it go. Yeah, I let it go. I just ran, and I don't know if you can get in trouble for this, so I hope Bowling Alley or anybody doesn't see this if I retweet it. But I took like 10 steps back, and I just started running, and I just threw it. I got a strike, and I threw it weird, but I got a strike, and I went 26 miles an hour. So I was like, I hold the top score for miles per hour on bowling. Someone can top me, but I want to see it.
I do want to know though who wins between you and Steph in bowling. Like that is gonna have to happen.
Yeah, I don't know how much people grow up doing this stuff. So I think I really just started getting into it. But I did bowl a high 190, and I don't remember my real score. I think I have a picture of it. But I was playing with my friends. I got 190 something. But I think I could, if I get in his head. I think I could get in his head. If I get in his head, I can pull off the win. And I'm really good at getting in people's heads. It's an easy mind game, really. So if I could get in his head, I can do it. I can beat him because it's just clowning him after that. It's just funny. I think I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna text him after this and tell him I want my match with him.
Yeah, tell him the C2C guy said that we found you some competition finally. It's about to go down.
Yeah, we're going live.
Let's do it, man. So, CJ, man, I wanted to thank you for coming on the show, man. Is there anything that you would love to plug or anything that you would like to say, anything like that, social media-wise, that you want to get out there to the community?
Yeah, 100%. I just want to thank God, too, for putting me in the position that I have been put in today. I'm very blessed and humbled to be where I'm at. And then also, I can't thank all my coaching staff at Rancho, Cucamonga High School, where CJ Stroud attended, and, Darren Hall, a lot of legends. And the list goes on. I can't thank those guys for talking to me and spinning some knowledge into me. And I also want to thank my old school, Williamsfield High School, for creating me to the man I was today. And I want to thank my parents, my family, and everybody. So I'm very much appreciative for that. And also the Boise staff for recruiting me and taking me on as a challenge. So I can't wait. And then my Instagram is just cj.tiller, simple. And I have a lot of Boise pictures and football pictures up on that. So, but thank you guys for having me. This is awesome.
Absolutely, man. We definitely thank you for coming on and spending the time with us as well, man. And we hope that you just really successful, man. We're definitely going to be following you. We're fans now, man. I was already a fan before him, but I'm a fan now after that story. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you progress, man, at Boise State. And us being a fantasy football type situation, I'll definitely throw you in some lineups, man, for sure. So make me proud, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Once again, this has been the Future Freshman Podcast, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Yeah, see you.
Bye.